Happy Thursday.
I thought I heard Michelle in it.
And thus concludes our meeting. Okay.
As soon as we hit the button, it's like clockwork. It's amazing.
Happy
I'm
Thursday.
For happy birthday?
Happy Thursday.
Oh, I was like, it's not a birthday, but I appreciate it.
No, it's really cold out, so it's like the Frosty the Snowman thing. So, happy birthday.
I've recently rewatched, or like holiday time, we rewatched the claymation old, like Frosty the Snowman and Rudolph, the clay one. Do you know the elf didn't want to be a dentist?
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
This is hands. So weird. So I have to press play.
Doesn't everyone want to be?
I press play.
It seems like a weird choice.
That was last.
No, it's today. Okay. I think that's fine. All right.
Are we live?
Yes.
Excellent. Good evening and welcome to the April 24th, 2025 Social Service Human Relations Board meeting. This meeting is being recorded. If a panel member would like to speak, please physically or digitally raise your hand and the chair will acknowledge your request. The chat function has been turned off. If members of the public would like to comment on an item, please digitally raise your hand or email Gracia Manayon, GMANNAHAYON@alamedaca.gov. Comments submitted during the meeting before the conclusion of the public comment section will be read into record. Her email address is also on the meeting's agenda. If you are calling by phone, please email Ms. Manayon and we cannot see you raise your hand. You can also dial *9 to raise your hand and we will call on you. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. To clarify, the public has 2 opportunities for public comment. First, under agenda item 2, public comments. Comments from the audience may concern matters either on or not on the agenda, but must deal with matters subject to the jurisdiction of the Social Service Human Relations Board. Second, under each agenda item, there will be an opportunity for public comment on that specific item. Each item follows a format similar to City Council meetings. First, after presentation, we will ask if there are any clarifying questions from SHRB members for staff. Second, we will ask if there are any public comments on this agenda item. And third, after public comment, we will open the item up for board discussion and a vote if recommended. The meeting is now called to order at 7:03 p.m. And roll call, we'll be doing everything by roll call today since we have someone remote. Bernie Wolf here. Diane Yamashiro-Omi.
Here.
Joe Bryant.
Here.
Michelle Buchholz.
Here.
Samantha Green.
Here.
Scott Means here. And from the Housing and Human Services Division, Gracia Manayon is with, thank you. I don't know if I'm supposed to introduce you. So do we need to say anything about her?
Yeah, she needs to give an explanation.
Oh, okay. So Diane, if you could just, just very briefly, just say, I'm not here because.
Well, I'm not physically present there because I'm sick.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And thank you actually for joining us remotely, even though you're sick. So we will move on to item 2, non-agenda public comments. If the public would like to comment on an agenda item, please email Gracia Manayon at GMANNAHAYON@alamedaca.gov. Comments submitted during the meeting before the conclusion of the public comment section will be read into the record. Her email address is also on the meeting's agenda. If you are calling in by phone, please email Ms. Manayon and we cannot see you raise your hand. You can also dial *9 to raise your hand and we will call on you. The city welcomes speakers providing public comment, but please be advised, this is a limited public forum. Comments from the audience may concern matters either on or not on the agenda, but must deal with matters subject to the jurisdiction of the Social Service and Human Relations Board. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Comments concerning matters on this evening's agenda will be heard when that item is called. If speakers fail to follow these rules, they will be warned, and if they continue to disregard the rules, their opportunity to speak will end. So, do we have any speakers?
There is no public comment for item 2.
Great, thank you. I apologize, I'll turn that off as soon as I can. Item 3, it's the review and approve of the minutes from March 27th, 2025.
I motion to approve the minutes.
I can second.
Excellent. Just get that off. All right, we have a motion and a second, so we'll do a roll call vote. Bernie Wolf,
Yes.
Daniel Mishiraomi,
Yes.
Gerald Bryant,
Yes.
Michelle Buckholz,
Yes.
Samantha Green,
Yes.
and Scott means yes. And it was passed unanimously, yay. Okay, item number 4, agenda items. This is a discussion of the Social Service Human Relations Board fiscal year 25-26 work plan. So we're gonna proceed on this. The board will discuss and amend work plan and decide if they wish to proceed with the recommendations for fiscal year 25-26. And then we'll open to clarifying questions from board members. And then we'll open to public comments limited to 3 minutes each and conclude with additional board discussion, vote, staff's recommendation. Okay. So what we need to discuss is a change. We were starting to gear up and plan for actually starting up this next round of the community assessment, yeah, sorry. But what we discovered is actually it's only done every 5 years. So we actually have some ramp up time. It was 2026, 27, I think, is what it was, if I can.
That
Or is it 2027?
Yeah, 26, 27.
26, 27 is when we actually will be doing it. So, rather than just completely putting it on the back burner, I think it is worthwhile for us to discuss this. And there are things that we can do. You know, last time we didn't have a lot of ramp up time beforehand, and there's definitely some things we could do, some communities that we could do outreach to between now and then. I think, you know, one of the things just to something I've already started to work on some is that, you know, age-friendly cities, we could actually, part of this could be this year is actually having surveys of seniors. But I think it's also worthwhile as a group for us to talk about maybe other groups that were underrepresented or were difficult for us to get information from last time and start creating a list. And then since we'll have this like 2-year ramp up, we can actually fill in a lot of those gaps between now and then.
So just to clarify, is your ask for us to look at the groups currently right now, or what's your ask?
The ask is just for us to be able to amend the work plan so that rather than us completing and planning to complete the community needs assessment in the next fiscal year, that instead we would just do data collection next fiscal year. So we don't actually have to decide what that data collection looks like, just that would be all that we would complete for the CNA.
And the reason we're bringing it back to the board is because you all reviewed and approved the plan last time.
Okay.
So it has to be amended.
This seems very reasonable to me.
So everything on here would happen, it would just happen later.
Sounds great. Do we have to approve that officially? Okay, I motion to
Yeah.
approve.
I'll second.
Oh,
Public comment.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, well,
sorry.
that's okay, we can hold those,
Oh.
that motion right now, we'll just make sure we don't have a public comment, and then we'll just go right to the vote if that's what you want to do. Oh, I don't have to read any boilerplate, sorry, I was looking for another boilerplate to read about comments. So do we have any public comments?
So we do have a comment for item 4A from Ms. Jennifer Rukowski.
Thank you. I want to appreciate Commissioner Wolf for reaching out to community members and asking questions about things related to the work plan. It is why I'm here today. And I specifically wanted to touch base on the domestic violence resources on the city's website. I am both really excited that you are looking to create resources that empower survivors, that are intentionally focused on care, community-centered, interdisciplinary, that I really want to encourage you to look at all of the different city departments and how they play a role, from the library to the work at the base around responding to domestic violence, and really an interdisciplinary approach. I also have to, as I reflected on Mr. Wolf's questions, and reminded of Brenda Morales, Martina Diaz, Michael Jimenez, Young Wesley, and William, who approved this last year, that we also lost Zoe Watts, who was a student at Lincoln and Alameda High, who was beaten in Oakland, that we lost Rachel Buckner, whose body was found by the Bay Farm Bridge, that this has real consequences for our community. And I also want to urge urgency. The current domestic violence resource guide on the city's website was done in 2011. If you call the rape crisis number on that, it is a disconnected phone number. Some of the locations are not the locations where the services actually exist. And so it is communicating a lack of care that I don't think is the true feel or meaning of this city. I've seen the city come together on the steps of the city hall to support the intergenerational survivors and community members of domestic violence, and it has touched this entire city community. And I urge you to take down information that is inaccurate, that is conveying a sense of apathy, and encourage you to work proactively to put up those messages so that we can all be better at supporting everyone in this room, everyone in the city knows someone affected by domestic violence and family violence, and we can be better resources for each other.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
And I just want to say thank you for all the information you provided and for your passion and your knowledge. And I kind of stay in touch with you.
And before we go to vote, just want to make sure if there's any additional comments from this body on the subject. Just want to make sure. I just want to say that I want to make sure this is on our next agenda, as so we can really have a more substantial discussion about which groups or what areas you think would be good to survey. You know, yeah. Well, I'll have a month to think about it, so it'll be good. All right, great. So do we have a motion? I think Michelle had a motion, and yeah, Gerald seconded. So we'll go to the vote. Bernie Wolf.
Yes.
Diane Yamashiro Omi.
Yes.
Gerald Bryant.
Yes.
Michelle Buckholz.
Yes.
Samantha Green.
Yes.
And Scott means yes. Passes unanimously. All right. I'm going to go to 4B, age-friendly cities update. This item is for board discussion only. There's no staff presentation, so go directly to public comments. Are there any public comments?
There are no public comments on this item.
Great, so now it's open for discussion. I just wanted to, I mainly wanted to provide a couple of just updates. Just on a couple of things that are happening with gathering stakeholders, and really, when we bring on the board member that we're missing now, is when I really want to have a discussion about when to do some community focus groups and that sort of thing. And actually the fact that we now know that we're not on the hook for doing this other work, you know, I think there'll be more space to actually do the community survey. But a couple of things that will help us out, or one thing in particular is I've been spending some significant amount of time in Oakland, because, you know, Oakland already did their first 5-year plan and they're in their second 5 year, so a lot of lesson learned by what happened the first time. So they've completed actually the community input sessions, the in-person ones.
They've already been designated an age-friendly study?
Yes, yeah, and they're in their second 5 years. They've already done a 5-year plan with outcomes, and then now they're rewriting the plan now. They did community outreach. It's a much bigger city, so they did 7 of them, 1 in each council district. And then there's actually a community survey, which I could pass around. It's public information. It's actually live right now until April 30th. And this is for Oaklanders, so this wouldn't be something we want to use. But the model of it and development of it, I've been on their guidance group, their little board that actually has been deciding on how to lay this all out, an advisory group. So it's been really good to see at a really intimate level with a bunch of stakeholders their methodology, because I think even though we're very different cities, I think the process they're doing with these are really good, and they're going to have much more of a focus on public safety than we will. A lot more questions on that, I think. So the specific stuff will be different for the city.
Maybe, our leaders tend to be worried about their safety.
But
So they may.
it might be a different type.
Yeah.
And what they did is they had the stakeholder meetings first and developed the questions based on direct input from people. So to hit a broader group. And this is being hosted in a few places. It's, at their senior centers. They host it on their website where you can actually download a physical copy and just drop it at a senior center. And they have a Survey Monkey kind of thing too. So people can do it all different types of ways.
So how many groups did they get it out to? You said 7 districts, but how many?
Well, we'll see when they close it on the 30th, how many different, how many people responded to the survey. And it's, so it's very much developed by the community with community stakeholders and that sort of thing. The other thing is, and I think I mentioned this at the last meeting, is, we do have the volunteer list, which is sort of like an immediate product win kind of thing, because it has to do with, getting people engaged and involved. And so this volunteer list, I've actually presented this in high school also, because high school students can use it. See, this is something I'm going to be using as a narrative throughout everything now. So we've already done something where this benefits seniors at the senior center and high school seniors, because we're all graduating, we're all aging in or out of something, right? And this is that narrative where it's usable for everyone, it's not just for seniors. So we've gotten a few more to add to the list, and we're going to try to update the list every 3 months or so, depending if there's new people. So there's going to be 3 new ones in May. The one issue is going to be, it's going to take up more than 2 pages.
Can't make the font any smaller.
I don't know if, that's what we're struggling with that. Like, can we actually get this onto, get 2 more on this page without making it too hard for seniors to read?
No, I don't think so.
I think it's a 12 font now.
Scott, is there anywhere, I don't know where, that there could always be like a kind of a Google Doc or a link that people can, kind of add groups as they find them? But
Yeah, or submit something to it. I think we would need to have something like an email, or I don't know if the city webpage can facilitate something like that.
To which part?
Well, for someone to actually, like
To
an
access the
info,
volunteer list?
yeah, or no, like an info, like an @info kind of email to send to, so they say, hey, we have this group that needs volunteers, that kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's what you're asking for, right? Can someone submit
Well, the first thing is that, is there a place where it lives so that people can access it, and including our shrub board members? Because I think maybe I forgot, but the last time you handed it out to us on paper, I don't know where it lives.
It was supposed to go up on the Mastic website, but I haven't looked to see if it's up on the Mastic
Oh,
website.
okay, so it's posted on the Mastic website.
That's what it's supposed to be, but I haven't checked, so.
But I'm wondering if it,
Yeah, because the nice thing about the electronic version is all the names on there are clickable. Yeah, they've got a URL.
but is that something that should be also promoted by the city? I mean,
Yeah,
I know Mastic is part of the city, but
is there room to put something like that on the shrub site?
I
On
can
the
ask.
shrub page? Yeah, could you, that'd be better, because then we'd have control over it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, good idea,
So what would we look up the name as? The document.
is this Alameda
The volunteer
volunteer?
opportunities.
Yeah,
Please check it.
but I think if we could host it, it would be better though. It's not that big of a document, so, and like I said, it would be at most every 3 months, it would be updated, with a new version.
The only thing I didn't see on that list is the Park and Rec department. Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's listed. I'd have to look at the list.
Okay.
I thought it was, but it's listed under a weird kind of name.
Oh, okay.
But I'll look to make sure, because I did get a few that we missed that were actually sent to us that I have on a pending list that we're gonna add to it too.
Well, something must be off with their site because,
It's a funky site.
yeah, that's not correct.
Oh,
It says volunteers at Mastic, but then it's in Cyrillic. And there's a link that kind of doesn't actually go anywhere, so,
Yeah.
Hackers.
Have to check on
you know, just to recall. Anyway,
so I guess it's either on there or it's on my list of ones that are gonna be added on there, but I know I did see it.
okay, I will,
Because Tracy Jensen actually sent it to you, okay, so there's nothing to vote on here, we can
You know
keep
what,
moving.
I just want the record to say,
Oh.
Scott, I really appreciate, this has been fully your baby. You've taken the football and run, and it's just, I feel so excited. It's contagious, your desire to impact this, and I really wanna applaud you of this being your passion project and you're making strides, and please let us know on the board of what we can do, because it's so excited to see you so alive and making such an impact, so thank you.
Oh, thanks.
It makes it be like, oh, I can't wait to retire. What an impact you can have on your city when you retire.
It's very
Thank
fun.
you.
It's very fun because we keep going, somebody should have a volunteer list, and then you just made one.
I know, I'm just so, kudos to you, Scott, for seeing a problem and fixing it, and that has such a positive impact, so thank you,
Well,
Scott, for being a catalyst.
Oh, well, thank you for recognizing that. It's a joy. It really is a pleasure and a joy, so. But now we have something else that's actually fun to look at. We are going to go to
Oh,
item
do we need
4C.
We don't have to do anything, we don't have to.
Oh, no, we don't have to do anything with that. This is also for board discussion only. There's no staff presentation, so we'll go directly to public comment.
You want me to give some background?
Oh, no, there's no public comment. I'm sorry, I was waiting
Oh,
to
I'm
see.
so sorry.
It's okay.
There is no public comment for this item.
Okay, sure, yeah, could you give just a little bit,
Yeah.
everyone just a little background?
So President Means and Vice President Green have been working with Alameda High students, providing feedback to the media class for a logo for Shrub. The name is here, but I'm unable to scroll of the student. And this was
Rhiannon.
the group favorite.
clarify, is this like an up and down vote for us, or is this something we provide feedback, or what's the goal?
Yeah, so I think, so it's actually both. I apologize that this should have been a voting item. There was some miscommunication between me and the script writer. So this one should be up for discussion and then it should be up for a vote.
Okay.
Yeah, so they presented us with some options, and this was kind of the one that Scott and I were like, oh yeah, like this feels the most like, you know, like workable. And so we thought we would bring this one to you guys to get comments and thoughts and see how it goes. Dan's ready.
It's not a shrub.
We had some shrubs.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
I'm wondering if somebody was going to.
Yeah, we had some shrubs.
Shrubbery.
Yeah, there was some shrubbery. So we thought the ones that had humans rather than shrubs seemed kind of more in line with what the, so this was one of the ones that we thought. It does still have a leafy.
It does, it's kind of, it's either, yeah, like a wave or a leaf, and it shows like the human's kind of like reaching out and growing or something.
The only thing, and I'm gonna ruin it, once you see it, it looks like a fin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really pretty, but I also would have liked to have seen more faces in there, being that it's a human relations board. And then also there it should be spelled out at the very bottom or somewhere so people understand what the initials stand for.
Oh.
Other than that, I mean, can we do that or?
Yeah.
Yeah, could we give them feedback?
Yeah, I can bring back the feedback.
Yeah, I agree. I think we need multiple people maybe connected and to have the words. And I think if we can match, the Alameda has a specific font, and it might be good to match the official Alameda font.
They looked like they were trying to stay within the Alameda color scheme.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, do we have anything about color or, I think we had talked to you about being able to get it just as a single color also, right? So that it's more functional and usable in different contexts. I think that was one of the only things that Scott and I were
Yeah,
concerned about
maybe a more visual like social services or human relations of like people holding hands or people working.
I thought that as well. They're yeah, like in a circle, people holding hands as a community. Something that's more kind of reflective of community, I guess.
But so exciting that they worked on it.
I'm glad to be hearing the feedback.
Yeah.
So do you want to keep the leaf? Or just make some reviews of the leaf?
To me, it looks so much like a fin.
I thought it looked like a mock toy, which I found endearing, and I like that.
Oh yeah, or like a Swiss chard.
If it's amorphous, then it's probably not what we want.
Yeah. I thought if I saw this, I would guess this was like a swim team logo.
Fascinating.
Synchronized swimming.
Any other?
It's nice, but the closer we can stay to city fonts and styles, the probably better. If we're gonna be using some sort of descriptor for social services, handheld or faces or something, it's gonna be a little hard to translate across from black and white or color, so might want to try and think of something that reflects what we do, whether it's think of people standing around, standing in, they have the paper people, cut out little paper people, something like that, where you could have them standing across, that would be the people, and then you could put the cityscape behind it or something like that, so now you have people in the city, pretty much covering what we do. Just a thought. I'm not an artist, but I did stay at the Holiday Inn.
I'm trying to visualize what it would look like if with the letters just temporarily, if the letters were off and that image was duplicated and mirrored.
Like word art, Windows 90,
Do you understand what I'm
2001.
saying? What would that shape look? It's like an inverse heart, you know what I mean? It would be like with the top open-ended. And it would have two people, one on either side. Do you understand what I'm saying?
To be honest, I don't.
Is it too abstract? Is too abstract what I'm saying?
I mean, I think for me, the young people, I think, would love to like, they're like really, this is their thing, right? Like, so I think providing them with just like feedback of what we kind of like to see rather than specific images, we might be able to get more options
Yeah.
for the next round.
Sounds
Yeah, and I did learn today that if I reach out to you individual, I can gather individual input.
Oh, wonderful.
So then we can keep doing that as opposed to group input. But I did want to bring it to the group initially.
It's a good start.
So just to clarify, then, Gracie, are you managing, you're the point person for this?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working with Scott and Sam.
Okay.
Alright, that's it.
And then it's a group of young people, which is really fun, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Especially get them to do very good.
and I feel really old, so it's great to have something where I'm like, oh, look at something that's fresher and
Yeah, so just
not
the,
Windows
Do we have
95.
do we have any more copies of that floating around?
What?
You should
Okay.
have it in your
You should in
packet,
the
Scott.
packet.
Everybody has one.
Oh, okay, fine, I'll give you
Yeah.
mine back.
Scott's gonna make this one.
Oh, okay, I did find the other one. My wife's a good artist and really good at duplicating other things. So I'm gonna try to see if she can do what I'm trying to explain to you that doesn't make sense.
Flip it,
Which I can't do, obviously, with my skills, so.
all I'm thinking is flip it and reverse it like Missy Elliott style.
So, I think, so do we need to
Sounds
vote
like
on
we're just
anything
voting
then?
on taking it back. Sounds like it's not
Yeah.
ready today.
Okay, so,
The main feedback is to include what our board stands for, keep the font in Alameda font, and have, the visual be more reflective of like people working together.
okay, now say that again, but say, I wanna put forth a motion
I
to.
put forth a motion that we will give them feedbacks for the designs team to include what shrub stands for, using the Alameda font, and include more imagery of people working together, to reflect more of the human relations of our board and
Excellent.
service lens.
I'll second that. Okay. We'll take a vote. Bertie Wolf,
Yes.
Diane Yamashiromi,
Yes.
Gerald Bryant,
Yes.
Michelle Buckles,
Yes.
Samantha Green,
Yes.
Scott Means, yes, and it's unanimously passed. Excellent. Now we move on to item 4D, which is work group reports. This item is for board discussion only, so it doesn't need to be a vote. There's no staff presentation, so we'll go directly to public comment.
There is no public comment for this item.
Great, thank you, Gracia. So does anyone want to start? You want to start with domestic violence? Aaron?
Yeah, so, thanks to Gracia, thanks to Jennifer, thanks to a lot of people in the community, we now have the framework for our webpage. And from there, I'm hopeful that we can flesh it out, make it more accessible, coordinate with the youth organizations, we don't really have their input, and build on it. In doing that, gives at least me a chance to meet with a lot of people and really hear what services are missing, what services could be provided, what, as well as to, as well as to have something as a central, as a central resource for this umbrella of domestic violence organizations that we always work with. And I also want to thank Gerald for coming.
Happy to be there.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And Jessica and Simone and I didn't think of anybody out, but it's been a lot of people that have been really helpful. And especially Jennifer. Jennifer provided me with just a massive amount of very important information that I'm gonna try to figure out how we can, translate it onto the website and get some of the things straightened out and identified.
Can I just clarify, what's Jennifer's background? Besides being an amazing Alamedan.
So what happened was actually, this was you, Gerald, when you connected me with, there was an interfaith group because okay, and Gracie and I went and had coffee with them. And it turns out they are like a seamless web of people. And Jennifer, she came through that web. I can't tell you exactly. Is there somebody who knows somebody? But I've actually talked to 3 or 4 people from that group on different things. And they reach out to some of them. Now we have a skeletal kind of webpage. And all really serious, good ideas, really committed.
If there's anything I can do to help, of course.
Yeah, no, they've been very helpful. So. But Jennifer, did you want to?
I think that would have to be a formal public comment for
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch
Sorry.
all the people in the meeting.
It feels very, yeah.
Yeah, that's my report.
Thank you, and
Thank
thank you for your
Yeah.
solo march to greatness.
Yeah. There's some other things on the work plan. Some of them I don't really think are things I can do very well. Other ones I'm going to continue. We have our, I think either Gretchen or I can remember in the biannual meeting, but it's coming up some point.
It's a calendar invitation that I was not included on, and the staff that have it are gone. So I'm reaching out to partners to forward it to me.
But in fact, since we've already spoken to basically all of them,
Yeah.
it's not terribly urgent.
Right, yeah, it is, it's like a nice, we should do it and we'll do it soon,
Yeah.
and I will prioritize it for this upcoming month, but we're just having some logistical gaps that we will overcome very soon.
Now, I understand that APD has a new domestic violence liaison.
Oh, interesting. We can invite them, yeah.
Apparently Officer Mountain is, he got promoted or something.
Okay.
But he was very helpful, so I'm sure that would be good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reach back out.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah.
Let's go to Alameda and see other against hate.
United. That's all, we're still on that.
Oh. I was like, they miss a word.
Well, we've been,
Oh, yeah, let me stay corrected, sorry about that.
Yes,
we're hoping to move forward with that at some point.
okay.
That will be,
That's what's on the work plan.
yeah, that will be, what I'm about to go into. Our wonderful work plan for this year is to get the resolution to, change the name. Everybody should be okay with it, I hope, but you never know.
Say it again?
You don't need to take it to council to change it.
No?
You can just change it. Yeah, I got that from the
Oh.
city, the assistant city manager told me you can just change it.
Oh, thank goodness. Last time we tried to do it, we had one of the city council people ask us to think about changing the name from Together Against Hate because it's about hate.
They may still have that feedback when you take the work plan to them, but,
Tell me what's the name now?
United. Against
Alamedans
Hate.
United Against Hate.
And the reason we chose that was because it ties into the national, which is already United Against Hate. So why change, why go out and reinvent the wheel if you're already part of a national group that's doing it? Might as well just tie it on in and make it easier for everybody to recognize it. Okay, you guys are United Against Hate, of Alameda. So that was one of the things that we had on our agenda. We had not really talked about when we're gonna get that one from them, but I expect it'll probably be about sometime. Some of the other stuff.
The resolution.
The resolution.
I think we discussed around October.
So, we have been doing weekly meetings now with Diane and myself and Grisha, bits and pieces of the resolution, so that we can have something to bring back to the group for discussion. Our goal is to get this done by June. So expect to see something we can all have conversation about. I think it's gonna be work in progress, as it always is. Hopefully by the time we get finished with our July meeting, we'll have had enough pieces on the table that everybody will be able to bring something and we can update it as we need. Present it in October, we'll start getting it in front of them in September.
So our timeline is to bring the resolution to you all in July, bring it back again in August for confirmation, and then bring it to city council in October.
So it gives us plenty of time to work on it. I don't know when we'll be getting another body to.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we'll get that. And then, once we do, that'll be even more opportunity for us to get through it. I'd like to see some of that. We have a limited group.
Yeah.
We don't wanna undersell it. And Diane, do I have anything else that I should remember?
Yeah, I apologize, I can barely hear you, but I think I wouldn't duplicate what you've shared. We are setting up regular meetings with different community leaders and community organizations. So so far we've met with the library, the Buena Vista United Methodist Church people. We've made contact, thanks to Simone, with the Oakland Alameda Unified School District and their Mosaic project. And we're just kind of continuing to develop the list of community leaders to speak to about and get their feedback on whether or not we even need a resolution, or basically if they would support the resolution.
And I sent out some emails to some of the folks that we did the march with back in January to ask them if they'd be interested in being part of the listening sessions where we get to come in and work with them as community, get feedback from them directly. I've heard from about 3 of them so far. One was definitely on board, another was thinking that it probably would be better to do other directions for them in particular, so they wanted my thoughts on how to respond to it, and I'm still kind of working it over in my mind how best to respond to it. But I think overall, the groups will be pretty responsive. The other one that I'm going to be reaching out to would be the Black Student Union over here for Alameda High and the one over at NCNL. Trying to make arrangements to catch Miss Francis over at the NCNL High School so I can ask her when the arrangements need to be made, what days, so I can walk back down, because I'm not that far.
Yeah, but timing's critical because school is ending.
Yeah, agreed.
And they're not focused on anything but getting out.
Well said. That's right.
Yeah.
So, did I leave anything else out? I'm trying to remember. I had a lot of stuff. We had a lot of stuff. We're really doing this weekly. This is important, and I'm glad that Diane is willing to do it weekly. I'm glad Gracious is willing to do it because we really want to get it out, and we don't want to let it hang out. Get long like my beard, okay? It's completely.
I just want to thank
Speech contest is this week too?
Yes, the speech contest is this weekend, but I was going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yes.
oh, okay. I just want to thank Gracia for keeping us on track and kind of creating a template for us to follow so that we're a little bit more organized. So thank you for that.
Indeed, thank you. Keep it moving. And I believe, yeah, that's everything for our.
Great, thank you. Let's move into the Road Home People Experiencing Homelessness Work Group. So we have a presentation on Monday. And we're including in our group one of the residents at Dignity Village. So in fact, I was just rehearsing with him earlier today over at Dignity Village. So I'm sure he's fine with having a smaller group to present to.
Good warm up.
Yeah, and he likes that we're doing it virtually too. So that'll be, because then I can sit right next to him and write him notes and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that. Samantha, do you,
No, I think,
Michelle?
I have an email drafted, it's in my draft, but I'm sending it out to the organizers of the 4th of July race and figuring out how we can, since it is supporting the Midway Shelter, have some, trying to figure out what would be the appropriate way to organize it or talk about it, whether it be like a packet pickup or before the race, of just saying like, I thought it would be even the point in time infographic to just be like, this is what it's supporting, this is information. So that's my hope, is to also partner with the 4th of July race, because that is such a large community event, and sort of with the dual mission. So I thought that is one thing I'm working on. It's in my draft, I gotta hit send.
and then we talked about we're gonna try and do a presentation with the school district, so we're actually trying to get the McKinney-Vento liaison to present with us as well, so he said yes, which is great, so we're trying to get that partnership a little bit stronger between our board and the school district. So even if it's just starting with the presentation, hopefully that'll be a nice way for us to connect in a new way around housing and homelessness, so.
All right. Now we can move on to item 5, staff communications.
Alrighty, that's me. I will try to project so Diane can hear me. Okay, hi everyone, I'm Gracia, Housing and Human Services Program Manager, and I'm here to provide the staff updates for our division. And here we go. Our division will be bringing 3 items to the May 6th City Council meeting. We are seeking approval on our 5-year Community Development Block Grant, or CDBG, Consolidated Plan. We are seeking final approval of our recommendations for CDBG subrecipient awards, and we are recommending City Council accept the fiscal year 25-26 Social Service Human Relations Board Work Plan. The work plan will be presented by President Scott Means and Vice President Sam Green. We are excited to welcome our newest staff member, Housing and Human Services Program Manager, Camille Rodriguez. Camille is an accomplished social work leader with a deep commitment to addressing homelessness and affordable housing policy. Camille comes to us from Insight Housing, a nonprofit organization that provides housing and social services in Northern California. She received her Master of Social Work from the University of Michigan and is pursuing her Doctor of Social Work at the University of Southern California. Camille will be leading the city's homelessness efforts, and we're excited to have her on our team. The Season for Nonviolence event is this Saturday on April 26th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. here at City Hall Chambers. And the City of Alameda residential rehabilitation programs are now taking applications. So this program helps eligible individuals make essential modifications to their homes. To be eligible, the applicant must be a low or moderate income homeowner, and the unit or home must be owner occupied. Priority will be given to applicants with an urgent health or safety accessibility need, including seniors and or individuals with disabilities. I have a budget update for you all. Overall, the city is in a stable financial position. However, given the economic downturn and slowing development, staff is being cautious to balance the budget. Approximately 3% of general fund operating costs will be drawn down from the general fund excess reserves. By the end of the 2-year budget, we'll still have over $9 million in excess reserves above the city's required 25% reserves. The housing and human services items included in the city manager's recommended budget include emergency supportive housing ARPA funding will be fully expended by 2025, so we are requesting general fund support to continue the program and fund it for 6 months in the first fiscal year and fully fund in the second year. We are also requesting a full-time program specialist 2 position with the plan to move homeless mobile outreach and encampment resolution in-house for more effective management. This includes part-time managers, and the cost is offset by not renewing the current homeless outreach contract. We are also recommending the purchase of an ADA van to support homelessness outreach. We are upgrading the office assistant position to administrative technician 3 to better reflect the work scope of the position to manage budgets and complex invoicing. And finally, a update on the day center relocation. We are at 99% construction drawings and are submitting for plan check. We are currently interviewing for a new project manager and doing hazmat assessment of the building, and we are on track to open in mid-2026. This completes my status report on housing and human services. Thank you.
Can I just get,
Oh, go ahead.
for our CBG, I know we were going back, when we made the allocations, we went back to one of the applicants, Alameda Family Services, because we were going to give them a significantly less than their desired amount. Did we get any feedback if they were interested, or what was the outcome of that?
So the final recommendations should be available on the city council materials. I believe they're gonna be posted, they should have been posted today if you wanna see the breakdown. My understanding is that we were able to identify an additional source to add to the recommendation, but I would have to look more into it.
No.
Okay, great.
That is,
I'm hearing in the wind that that sounds right, so.
okay.
Yeah, but I would check the city council materials for the formal breakdown of our recommendation.
Thank you.
One more question. You said that they were program for people who needed to have updates to their.
Yeah, so we have just launched, we are now accepting applications for our residential rehabilitation program. So they are, there's $5,000 grants or a $15,000 loan to make improvements on your home that are safety and accessibility related. And it's only for low and moderate income homeowners, and the unit has to be owner occupied. So for example, if you need like a ramp in your shower to make it more accessible, or not a ramp, I'm sorry, a bar, like a holding bar or things like that. And then the larger amount loan could be for like a ramp to your front door or more infrastructure type improvements.
I'd love to get some information. I
I'd love to give it to you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this a new program?
It's a brand new program.
Okay, because it sounds similar to what a program that we used to fund through CBG, right? Through
Right.
the fire department used to? Okay, got it. Thank you.
So Gracia, how is that being promoted, or what's the outreach strategy?
Yeah, so we're working with our partner Rebuilding Together East Bay Network, and they're in charge of outreach. They are doing, they're visiting with the Mastic Senior Center, they're visiting with the Diamond Connect services. We're also doing blasts through our city email listserv. So this has just started like in the last couple weeks. Our communications manager should be blasting it through social media as well.
And is there a deadline date?
No, it's pretty much until the funds have been.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's a small amount. We only anticipate to be able to help out 6 homeowners to start, and then the program will grow.
I see. So first come, first serve, more or less.
First come, first serve with a priority for
Mhm.
seniors and folks with disabilities.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
All right, no other comments? We go to board communications. Are you gonna talk about this?
Yes, I will be doing the Season for Nonviolent Speech contest again this year. I was judge for the last couple of years. This is my 3rd year, I believe this is my 3rd year. And I'm going to be doing just the junior high school portion this time. I'm not going to be doing both of them. And they asked me to MC the other side of it, so I'll probably be doing dual duties. So I'll be able to stand there and give them a chance to do all of their note taking. I know what it's like when you have to take all those notes on something wonderful that one of those young folks has said. Now you have to make notes, so somebody should be able to keep people interested.
You gonna bring your guitar?
I was gonna say, I bring my flute out and start humming songs at them, yeah.
I thought you played the guitar.
No, I'm a flute player in the family.
Really? You're a flautist.
So you're gonna MC the second part,
Yes,
because I'm gonna be a judge during the high school part.
excellent.
So we'll see you there.
Excellent, yes, it's gonna be a lot of fun. If this is your first time doing it, it is so much fun. And when I say, every time I've done it, I come home inspired. These young folks are just, some of them a couple of times I had to go teary-eyed, it was just so well done. And so, yeah, I would encourage anybody who has some time on Saturday morning, noon to what, noon to 4? Is that what you said? Or,
10 to,
10
well,
to-
the first, the middle school's from 10 to 12, and then I believe high school 1 to 3.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct, yeah.
So, we'll see, I don't know how many students we will have this year, but we're hopeful that we'll get a few to round everything out, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope God come out.
Any other board communications?
I have one announcement. I guess there's the API, it's API Heritage Month, and there's going to be, I think Rhythmix is organizing a festival at Bohol's Park this Saturday, and I don't know if it's Saturday and Sunday. I don't know the exact dates, but at any rate, there's that celebration. The Buena Vista United Methodist Church is also hosting their spring festival, and that will be on Sunday, May 4th. And they will also be featuring films and speakers. So if you go to the website, you'll get kind of the full schedule. But I really encourage people to attend.
And that's next week?
That's May 4th, Sunday, May 4th.
May 4th.
But the Bowhole Circle that Rhythmix is doing is this weekend. I'm sorry. The weekend's almost here.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
And I guess by the time we meet again, May will almost be over, so I might as well mention this, is that May is Older Americans Month. This year's theme is Flip the Script on Aging. Yeah.
I just want to highlight, I attended my first time attending the Alameda Spring Shindig, which is it's put on the AARPD, it's kind of focused on Earth Day, but it was just such a great event. It was amazing for kids, but they also had a really good, representation. They had the CERT, they had Alameda Backyard Growers, they had the fire people, and it just had a lot of community with the earth or nature sort of environment of people giving away trees, solar panels, but just these events, this is just also, ARPD is such a great resource. I wonder if we can a request or somehow we could have them come to our board, or it just seems like there should be so much more partnership because they're doing so much and they're so impactful, and the events that they put on they're just really well done.
And well attended.
Well attended, well done, and they have great impact, and I feel like our missions are so aligned, and I wonder how we could really drag their coattails really to get some of our agendas.
I think that's a great idea.
And they're tying in with a lot of things. I do the ACCYF program, and they're on the ACCYF board as well. Tied in.
Can we have them come in as a speaker, or, I mean, just,
ARPD is pretty large, so I think we'd have to be more specific about what we want to hear about. If it's specific to community events, I can inquire as to if there's somebody whose specific job that is, or
Yeah, that was just I was just this feels very much aligned to what we want, and I do want to make sure we are aligning with our human relations aspect, because they do it well.
But my only other thought was, we had talked about having a float in the 4th of July parade,
Yes,
and I saw that is,
yeah,
it's
registration.
time.
It's
So
time to make.
are you doing it?
For full honesty's sake, it's the longest, it just seems like a long time. I'm a little, to be.
Well, does someone have a vintage Lincoln Continental, the ones with the suicide doors? We get some big car like that, and that could be our float.
Wait, you
could
have
decorate-
a vintage car.
I have a Mustang,
But is it convertible?
yeah. It's not
Oh, no.
hard top.
I'm just saying that is one way, that's a politician style way of doing it, right?
Isn't that what JFK got?
Well, but they still do it. Yes, that's true, but they still do it. I recall it almost like it was yesterday, Rob Bonta, when he was just a council person, writing
Was he
in an
Alameda?
open, yeah, he was a council member in
That's
Alameda.
amazing.
You know, we do have a board member that has like a jazz band.
Are they in a walking jazz
You
band?
can put it on the back of a float though.
Yeah, or a flatbed truck.
A
I mean,
Flatbed truck.
I'm just trying to think of things that would be
Less
easy to
walking
modify,
on,
like not a
I've done my
full-blown
fair share
float.
of marching bands.
Yeah, I think
and
the
I've
city
done my
managed-
parades, so,
Yeah, no more marching,
No more
none of
marching,
that,
no.
no.
Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, I've seen floats that are just people on their bicycles, like that's just what they do, they just
I was
bike.
with one of those groups one year, you might have
Yeah.
seen me out there doing that.
I mean, I have a bike, bikes.
It was all the bee people, and people who have bees, we all did like this bee theme thing and did our bikes all in flowers.
When's the deadline to sign up?
I think it's like,
The day before the
yeah,
parade or
you can
something.
Oh, I'm
really,
surprised it's that, oh, okay.
so we can permit it.
Okay, I was just throwing it out there.
I know I said that, it's just, I like, it just peters out, it's like, oh God, we have to stay in the formation.
Because
Yeah,
I don't know how many parades you've done, I've done a few, so, yes.
You get to be the, I have never been on a parade, so, but I have a good
Yes.
way.
I was just throwing it out there.
I'm pretending
was
to be a
10.
person in a parade. All right,
Does the government, I mean, I know Maryland,
Yeah,
Is
the
it
city managers did the bikes, I think it was like 2 of them, they were like on a bike with their little thing attached to their bike, and they were like,
The council members do it.
could we outreach to other council members to see if they wanted to do like, like we could do like serve civil servants or something like that? No, it's okay, no, this is so much.
I
I'll
don't,
stop talking.
I usually like to be like, we can figure something out, but
No, that scratch that from the record.
I'm just trying to get a slow ride through Alameda in a vintage car, so.
Working on the car, actually.
I know, I just think that's my whole focus. All right, I think this conversation ran its course.
Yes.
We have nothing else. We can actually adjourn this meeting at 8:02 PM.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane.
Bye, everybody. Thank
Feel
you.
better.
I'm
Or
sorry
thank
I'm
you,
off
getting
tonight.
there. Thank you.
I feel like I'm
Get well.
I will. Thank you
It's
so much.
really
All right,
long.
see you soon.
Yeah, I mean,